name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. Hi, everyone. Welcome to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. Fun news is now we are recording for the pod and for the channel because I've hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, everybody. Woo, woo. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you have the pleasure of seeing that Kendrick is wearing a superhero mask. Or a villain mask. We need to hear the story, Kendrick. Tell us all what the hell is happening here.
Okay. You know me, when I go on my rants in my stories, I usually put on a hero mask and I just rant about the things, Ramona cutting up at Black Shabbat or whatever the hell is inspiring me that week. I go off on a tangent and I put on one of these masks. Well, I said I usually wear a hat when I'm coming to record with Emily and she matches my energy every time. But I said, you know what? Let me put on this mask because there's a Marvel show that's currently airing every Wednesday, and it's called Miss Marvel, and it's about a Pakistani American superhero. She's a teenager, and there has been like the biggest stink online about people like, oh gosh, people like they're refusing to watch it and like all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's, it's the world we live in. It's kind of crazy, right? So I felt like after the events that's occurred in the world lately, I'm like, you know what? I'm loving the show. I'm watching it. People that are watching it are like saying it's one of the best things like Marvel's done on Disney Plus. So I'm like, you know what? Let me show my support because people are gross. People suck. There are a lot of stupidity, a lot of gross raggediness in the world. So why not give Miss Marvel a shout out and wear her little signature mask and say that if you don't watch something just because of the way someone looks, you're an idiot.
A true ally. A true ally. Yeah, it's been rough.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
It's been rough. I mean, I've never actually taken a full Instagram break. And I was already on the verge. I was already like getting an IG burnout going on. And then look, we knew it was coming. It's not like we didn't have a warning, but it's different when it's real.
Right.
And it was just so sickening it's like, oh my God, you really did it. You really did it. And the layers of it. And then the more I would scroll, the more I would see, just you have to, you want to see it because you want to know all about the reach it has and like the abortion clinics. I had to call a bunch of people and say, we cannot do your abortions anymore.
Right.
And so, but then I like couldn't really handle even just talking about Bravo. I took a full weekend off. I went I had to go off the social media grid, but then it makes you really sad because then you're like, what do I look at on my phone then?
Right.
I kept picking up my phone and being like, wow, I really don't look at my phone for anything else other than Instagram.
Right. It's an eye opener. I'm like taking, despite my like medical hiatus that I went on to like get myself together. Like whenever I take like a week off, just to I'll do like a full disconnect. Like I won't do podcasts. I won't do my podcast. I won't do Instagram. Like I'm like literally like ghost watching on Instagram and that's it. Like I won't do anything else. I just watch my TV shows. I work and that is it. Like I don't want to do anything else. And it truly like makes me want to go off the grid sometime. I'm like, you know what? This is not half bad. I'm just saying. Like,
I actually fully understand that because even though I'm back on Instagram, I posted like one thing, but I'm kind of still like I'm all right taking my sweet time.
Right.
Because I think what I learned on the few days off was I'm like everything's fine. Like nothing happened by not being super active.
Right. I mean, hey.
You get kind of like caught in that thing where you're like, I have to post. And like, you give yourself this fake pressure. Like
right.
People are waiting or something. And it's like, well, they can wait.
Right. That was my thing. I'm always like, you know what? Because like, I always feel like everyone like shoots to like 10,000 and 20,000. I'm like, oh my God, I'm still trying. Like I can't afford to take a break. Like I have to compete with everybody. But then I'm like, actually, this is like the best week of my life. I don't know why the heck I even want to be on Instagram. Let me just go be a hermit somewhere and just enjoy my life.
Yeah, I really have to say this blurry situation with just your like head in the superhero mask. It's such a vibe. I'm like, you feel like you're just like floating. And like, yes. And when you pick up your drink, it's all blurred too. So
I know
everything's like, it's really cool.
Maybe if you guys sponsored me, we would unblur it for you.
It feels like we have to blur it. It feels like a TV show where we can't, like a non-specific.
Let's all just pretend that like I'm Marlo Hampton and I'm wearing all my labels and I can't show them to you right now. That's what it is.
we don't have the rights.
Right.
We are not cleared because I'm sponsored by specific brands and they have a non-compete.
Yes.
And we can't.
Yes.
Well, that was a wonderful intro. So welcome to the channel. Welcome to the pod, everybody. Again, Kendrick is here recapping Atlanta with me. Another wonderful episode.
Yes.
Full, just chock full. Like it was like, I think you posted it was 0 to 100 over and over again.
Yes.
Boom.
Like my God.
Boom. Boom.
You just like take a break to like text someone and then like an argument happens. You're like, wait, what?
That's what
just happened? What is going on?
When I was taking notes, I stopped at one point literally to text someone. And then something was happening. I was like, oh, fuck, hold on, pause it, rewind it. And then I had to text and I was like, okay, go back and write it all out. It was that action packed.
Oh my God.
Anyways, let's get right into it. Okay. Title of the episode. Healthy glows and low blows.
Yes.
You know what? It's not as good if it's not a Sheree reference. I've decided that they should have really attempted to make every episode title a Sheree reference.
Yes.
I'm going to try to come up with one. I'm going to think about every episode. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to workshop it. All right. So Fat Loss Camp is Drop It with Drew. She's starting. She's like, I'm going to need to get this on camera. We need to show everyone this is a real business.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her 22 pounds over there. She lost 22 pounds. Here we go. And then she's like on the phone with her business partner, Jackie. Business partner. Let's do a party here and celebrate everybody. Yes. I'm like, okay, got it. Established.
Mm-hmm.
Drew has let us know. Sanya wanting another kid, that's been set up. And that's a great housewife storyline. It's a great, that's a good one. It's a good, marriage crossroads. Which way are they going to go?
Good go-to. Yeah.
Good content.
Yes. A good, first time, oh, I just joined the Housewives. I don't really know these girls. So let me pretend to have another child, a la Melissa Gorga. That kind of thing. A little bit of scamming. I don't know why I take the opportunity to drag Melissa Gorga every chance I get.
Because that storyline was truly an abomination of all storylines.
Twas indeed.
Bitch,
yes.
None of us thought you were really thinking about having another kid.
Nobody.
All her kids were like, what?
Right. This is the first time I'm hearing of this. What are you talking about? The kids at school say that you're thinking of having a child. Is it true? She's like, oh, no, it's just, baby, it's, it's what we have to do at school.
Are you giving us Marlo Hampton now?
Yes. Now I'm fading from existence. Now I'm giving y'all a little multi.
That confessional look is one of, I think, my top favorite confessional looks of all time.
It's so good. She's giving us a lot. I love they debuted a new one in this last episode. For those who can't see that are listening and not watching, I just put up my background of Marlo and that pink. I don't know if it's Chanel or what it is, but
it's a Chanel looking coat. Yeah.
It's everything. And it's a little short blonde wig and
chain, the big gold chain. And it's just the combination of everything. Her makeup is so flattering and classic. Oh, it's so good.
And when I do like this, it looks like I have a blonde wig on. So
yeah, you should actually think about getting a blonde wig and just maybe do a full pot and maybe start doing like some of your like Instagram when you go off in your stories. Just throw a blonde wig on because that is a good look on you.
Oh, why? Thank you.
I think
blondes have more fun. So.
I think you need a blonde bob like that. I think so.
Maybe I convinced myself. I'm ready.
This is a good way for you to test out looks.
Right? Okay. I'm coming with that next week. Okay, it's Marlo this week. Next week, I'm coming with that really high Sheree ponytail to see how that looks on me. And I might give that a go one day.
This is like that app where you can try on the hairstyles.
Yes.
You just gotta see how it looks first.
Right. Newsflash, it looks terrible.
It looks
on all of us.
Because I love that even Sheree knows. She's like, look, I'm not gonna lie. That is horrendous.
Yes. Did you see when she posted the picture online? She was like, okay, this is what it was supposed to look like. And this clearly is not that. And it's like, yes,
thank God she knows. Thank God. Because if she didn't, we would be in so much trouble.
I see that's what I love about this group in particular, because even Kenya last week, she knew that wig was bad. That was a bad wig. Like it was bad, but she didn't try to hide it. You know that. Yep. That's how you know you're a good housewife, because if you just like sit there and try to be like, oh no, honey, this is fabulous. Like it makes me think of Love and Hip Hop, like Atlanta or one of those where like they'll be like, oh no, sweetie, you just don't know. This is everything. But Kenya's like, no, I know this wig is terrible. I saw it when I went out the door, but I had to come film the scene with y'all. I'm feeling terrible.
She's like it's a mess.
Right. It's terrible.
A mess.
Kenya, I forgive you. It took me a week, but I forgive you.
Ooh, Kenya, you were almost in trouble.
Yes, it took me a while, but we're okay.
So I like that they elected to go to this sauna place, Sweat House, to tell Kandi how they felt.
Yes.
But I even love more that Kandi said, nope.
Yes.
No.
I said on my podcast when I was talking about this episode, I was like, Kandi is like, no, this kitchen back here is like marble floors and like, you know, the granite on the countertop. This is not white refrigerators and linoleum on the floor. Like, no, we're not doing this. This kitchen needs to be preserved for my next meeting. Like, no, I'm not doing that with y'all.
She literally was like, we are not doing this in the middle of my busy ass day to do these weird housewife spa scenes that people think are cute for camera. Mm-mm.
Right.
And
Very
also,
weird.
You're not getting me inside some like glass sauna thing where you all can yell at me. I'm going to sit out here. And then the imagery of them behind the glass talking to her. It was it was amazing. It was fantastic.
You know what? Even though this scene was like a mess from like start to finish, my favorite thing about it was that the guy at the counter that checked them in and that like brought Kandi back to them, clearly a diehard Atlanta fan. Like he knows, like, he was like, obviously, like, I felt like he wanted to say, hey girl, when Kandi walked in, but he was like, oh, I'm at work, keep it together. Like, let me not do that. And he was like, walked right back. She's like, oh, I'm here to see my friends. I think they're here. He's like, they back here. Let me show you. It's like, he's not even pretending. Like, what's your name? Let me check. He's like, no, Marlo and them back here, girl. Let me take you back there.
And didn't Marlo say something like, do you have anything in there to teach you how to be a good friend? He's like, I can try.
Right. He's very like Erica Jane, laugh at your own jokes. It's like, oh, Erica, you're not the funniest one in the room. I'm sorry to tell you. I apologize.
I didn't even clock that. You're right. He was like, I'm in heaven. I'm going to remember everything that happened so I can tell all of my friends.
Yes.
He's texting them like, we're getting drinks as soon as I'm off. I can't wait to tell you everything.
Yes.
Marlo, Kandi, and Sheree, they all filmed. They got into a huge fight. Kandi was crying.
Everything.
It was amazing.
It was his life. I know. Oh my God. I'd be the same way.
Oh my God. Can you imagine his boring ass job? He's like, I work at the Sweat House front desk. Like my job sucks. And then he's like, never mind.
Right. I have a friend that like lives in Atlanta and she's running to Kenya a few times. And every time she always like text me and tell me something different. She's like, oh my God, like, why do they just walk around in heels this tall? I'm like, I don't know.
I am glad other like pedestrians say that too, because I can't wear heels at all anymore. And they are in heels constantly.
All day long. It's so ridiculous. And that's why, you know what? People don't appreciate the fashion in Potomac a lot. Like, it may be bad sometimes. We can all admit that. But I feel like Robin Dixon is like one of my like housewives style icons, because she's the one that always can like dress like great for the occasion, but not be like, so like, oh, I'm going to shoot a commercial for like Dior right now. Like, I feel like everyone always is dressed like, you dress to the nines. Like, everyone's always dressed like the 19s. And it's like, calm down. Like, where are you going right now? You're going to a barbecue in a ball gown, 6-inch heels, and like a French roll that Drew had. Like, calm down. Like, what are y'all doing right now? I can appreciate those Potomac fashions sometimes, because they're just like us.
Robin is I guess, pretty chic.
Yeah.
Out of the whole cast.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, like too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I feel like Candace has great style, too.
Yeah.
Candace is more so like, I feel like you could plop Candace in Atlanta, because she's a little more like fashion forward. Like, she always tries to, like, she's very conscious that she's on camera. But I feel like the other girls are like, child, let me look presentable and look decent and nice and like actually look like I'm on a reality show about my life and not like I'm shooting a scene from The Young and the Restless today. Like, you never know with these people.
Yeah. No, they are doing the most all the time.
Dynasty.
So Marlo is like so intense. And Kandi again is like, why is this all on me? And like, we're not even that cool.
Right.
So that's her big thing. That is fair, right? It's like, since when are we that close? Like,
never.
Like, Sheree was mentioning things, and it was like from 2018. It was from a while ago.
Like, the first one was like 2016. Then they jumped to 2018. It's like, okay, that was like, there's been a whole panoramic outside since then. Like, we're dodging some stuff. Okay, like I got to worry about other things. People are jumping my gate at my house, telling me they're Beyonce's family members. I got other things to worry about, Marlo. Okay. It's
like the references were a bit dated at this point. You have to, nurturing relationships goes both ways. And so Kandi's over here going, I have got enough. My family is saying that they don't get enough of my time. And now you chicks who have just come back to the show are like, you're not being my best friend.
Right.
And
very weird.
So, yeah, Kandi starts bawling, and Sheree's like, she starts having a tantrum.
0 to 100, 0 to 100. Once again,
Kandi's so pissed because now she's crying. She was looking amazing for that. Wherever she was going, wherever she was going after this, she was ready to be there.
That's why I had to defend Kandi. Like, when I talked about this, because I'm like, you know what? Kandi looked good in that scene. So like, I probably wouldn't have gotten some people. I forgot who it said, but who was it? Someone was like, Kandi's like not fully participating in the scene. Is that a bad sign? Like, is now she going her like Nene route? And I'm like, no, like Kandi always like participates. She's always up for whatever. She's just like, okay. And then she just shows up to, do whatever. But this, I understood. I'm like, you know what? Sold by Jody or whoever always does her hair. That hair is laid. Like, I would not get in that damn sauna either.
I wouldn't even have been in the room. Like, even in the room, the steam is still coming out. I'm like, she's even risking it being in the same vicinity. So she did more than she should have.
I would have came in there like full bonnet or full do-rag, something like, I'm not playing with you, Marlo. I'm not playing with you.
So.
No.
So now we get the Sanya and Ross dinner. Well done. Good job. Well done. Nice little scene.
Way more believable than the Gorgas. So yes, kudos.
Way more.
Way more. Like this, there were tears and everything. Ross was depressed. Sonya's crying. She was making that that stale ass fish. Like it all came together like the exact way it should have.
Like, don't even compare. The Gorgas are like not even.
No.
Oh my God. They don't even, they're just no. So yeah, no. So who knows? He doesn't give a rat's ass how she feels about not wanting a kid. He's like, we're having another kid.
Right.
And she's like, so nothing I said matters. He's like, no. She like presents, she's like, what about this? And then this, and then you were not around even like before, like the whole chauffeur thing. And he's like, okay, I want another kid. She's like,
right.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Where do you land on this? Right. Like, where do you land on this? Cause like,
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I am going to lean towards Sanya because I'm like, well, she's the one who has to carry the kid.
Right.
And then if you're leaving her to take care of the kid and not being there, like, so what, you just want it for, what do you want the kid for?
Right. It's weird.
But then I also don't understand what, like, I have no idea what it's like to be in a marriage with kids.
Right.
So I feel like I'm not the demographic to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even want kids.
Me neither.
So to me, I'm like,
good on that.
I don't want any kids. So I'm like not the right market to test.
It's weird because like, I feel like I'm always like, obviously I'm on Sonya's side because she has to carry the baby and obviously take care of it if he's not going to be in town. But
yeah,
I also like feel, I'm so conflicted with this because it's also like, well, like people say like the best marriages are partnerships and like, is there a way you can make this work? But it's like, if he's not doing his part and he's not going to be there, then I wouldn't even put the option on the table. But if he can actually prove that he's willing to be home more, then does the discussion open back up or like what, how does it, I don't know. I'm not married. Not my business. How about that?
Right. So like, I don't know.
No.
And I'm sure like there are men out there that have a very strong opinion. Because he is trying to start another business. And so maybe there would be men that are like, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to start a business? I'm like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm like, they can figure it out.
Right. Not our business.
Like, enjoy. So Sheree calls her new business manager. Is it Taiyi?
I didn't even pay attention to the name. I didn't even look. I was just like, oh, someone else new is handling She by Sheree.
This woman had like a script. She goes, as consultant and project manager, it is my role to make sure your vision is executed.
Yes. Straight off of LinkedIn.
Did she text you that and say, say this while we're on FaceTime?
Right. That was like straight off of LinkedIn, like her profile under She by Sheree CEO or something. Marketing manager. Okay.
But when Sheree said she spent tens of thousands of dollars and she had some samples in there from 2017.
Girl, you might as well keep them in your closet. What are we going to do with them?
I'm like, and then she was putting on that jacket and the girl was like,
The girl doesn't know what to do either. She's just like, I'm here to collect my check. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. I have no idea. Like, Sheree. I want Sheree to win.
I know
so badly, but like, what is this? What are we doing? Like,
what are we doing?
You're just like, now it looks like you're like finding clothes and bags that you like had made up and you're like bringing them to the forefront. Like, here, I still got some clothes. It's like, no, like give me a new line. Like, it's 2022 right now. Give me a new line of clothes. What are you doing?
You're so right. When she found out she got the contract, she's like, oh shit, I gotta go find some old samples to show that I have been working on Sheree. So she went and dug up some like old boxes and was like, okay, we'll put these. So here, guys, see, I've been working so hard on She by Sheree all these years. It's like 2017. That is now 5 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
Let's start fresh.
Throw them out. They are irrelevant.
I would love for her to, you know what, actually, her fighting with Kandi is probably the worst thing she could be doing, because I bet if she went to Kandi and asked her for some connections, she could get in a store. Like, she could probably get in, like, I don't know if it'd be like in a Macy's or something like that, but she could easily get in like a Marshall or a TJ Maxx or something like that. Like, affordable See, Sheree, okay, don't try it. Do not try to sell them leggings for $200. We not gonna buy the shit. You better put it for $29.99.
See, she's too prideful. Like, she's too prideful. She's gonna make them luxury.
Exactly. You're going to the gym. Nobody needs luxury leggings, unfortunately. I'm sorry to tell you.
From Sheree.
Right. Exactly.
At this point, it's too much of a joke. She by Sheree is a joke at this point. Right. And if she wants to make it not a joke, she has to at least make it a line that we can buy. So you can't start out luxury.
Just give us do a luxury line later on.
Way later.
Just way later. Like, just do something attainable. Get in a store, do it online. Make sure your online is right there. So once someone actually reach out to you that has like a brick and mortar, the people around Atlanta, maybe a nice little, there are so many boutiques in Atlanta that you like, people just like take them. Oh, here's some little knickknacks. Oh my gosh, Sheree. Oh my God. Yes, I would love, you're my favorite show. Like, you could easily get in like these little boutiques. Sheree, I'm telling you right now, don't try it. Do not try it. Okay. I'm watching you. Don't try it. We 8 episodes in. Don't try it. Okay. By the time we get to episode 20, don't try it. I'm watching you.
Okay. Speaking of luxury, they're at Le Archive, and Michael and William have been acting up, and it's to be expected.
Right.
And Marlo says that her first job was McDonald's, and then she'd work at a car wash, and then she'd go take the bus and she'd work at Wet Seal. Remember Wet Seal? I remember Wet Seal. And she's been in touch with their sister Jasmine, who's 27 and lives in a different state. That's just one of their older sisters. So it's a lot. So it's sad. It's sad.
Can I ask, Marlo, you're telling us all about your old jobs. Can you tell us what you do now? Because we're all, we still waiting to hear it. Like, I know,
still don't know. We
know the archive, but is that paying all the? I'm just asking. Like, since you're opening up and telling us about your jobs, what are you doing?
Then what happened after Wet Seal?
Right, exactly.
Take us through. Can we get the resume? The whole. We have time.
Yes. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
We could even do a 20-minute segment of just you taking us through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. TED Talk.
Let's do it.
I want to hear it.
It's not boring. It's quite fascinating. So
absolutely fascinating. I want to know all of it.
Let's go. What happened after Wet Seal?
Right.
Then you went to...
Right. Come on.
After that, you got a job.
Right.
Okay. No. All right.
No. Okay.
Okay. Just wondering.
All right. It's one of the great mysteries, like the Pyramid of Giza or the Bermuda Triangle.
We'll never know.
Never know.
Because even if Andy asks at the reunion, we're going to get another circular answer. And what do you do?
Marlo Hampton LLC. Google it, baby.
And she'll be like, Andy, what do you do? Because she always claps back with the wrong thing. And you're like, that didn't work.
Yes.
He does this. And she's like, okay. And then she keeps going. You're like, just Marlo.
He has very tangible employment. We know we can look at the P&L. We know what Andy does for a living.
Here. He's doing his job right now.
Yes.
Marlo. Okay. Kandi and Kenya, they go to this candle making place, and Moneta, who just happens to be Neo's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's so Kandi. She just drops people like that on us.
Right.
She shows up, so they're swapping stories. Kandi's telling about the sauna. Kenya's telling them about how Marlo tried to villainize Kandi for trying to donate clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the Drop It with Drew invitation. And Kandi asked Moneta about her honeymoon. And did you use that bedroom, Kandi? plug. And I respect Kenya for this. Kenya could have let that go, but Kenya herself brought this up. She said, "Oh, did you tell her about what happened in New York?" I was like, "Oh wow, she's like, listen, we're here to film a scene,
right? Let's get it. Let's get this in the home."
And literally, and they did it. Like Kandi got all heated, crazy heated.
Kandi was on like 13 this entire episode.
And you know what it looked like? It looked like, Kendrick, it looked like someone who has not had to work and she was mad she has to work.
Yes. Exactly.
She's like, "Oh, I'm so annoyed right now." Like she looked like a little kid being like, "I don't want to work."
Yes. I like coasting. I'm perfectly fine with that. Floater, get a life vest. I have it. I'm here. Like, I don't want to do anything.
So annoyed that and then the candle lady coming by being like, have you added the...
Right. She's like all ready for it.
She's like, "We're on phase 3. We're not. Okay. We're not." She could not wait for them to finish fighting. She's like, "Okay, now stir."
Right.
Oh my gosh.
There was an entire looked like almost like a bachelorette party, like at the other table, like trying to have the time of their life. But they keep looking back like, what the hell is going on over there? Like, oh, girl, that's Kenya. Like, what are they arguing about? Kenya and Kandi arguing? What is happening? You can tell they're like the wheels are turning in their minds. They're like, what is actually unfolding but beneath me, before me, behind me right now?
And that place was packed for a candle making place. I'm like, damn, this place is popping.
I want to go.
Me too. I'm like, I need to go make candles. But Kenya perfectly brings it around. She said, Kandi and I know how to do this and drop it, unlike Marlo, who keeps bringing everything back up. And then that makes Kandi realize, all right, that's right. We are doing a show. I just haven't had to work in a few years.
Right.
And then she smells her candle and Kenya smells it and she goes, "Ooh, that smells nice." And so Kandi says, "You know what it's called? Kandi's pussy." And scene.
Yes.
Well done, Kandi. I know.
Bravo.
She's rusty. She is not used to she has not really had to work since the Phaedra phase.
Yes.
They gave her a lot of years off. She deserved it.
She's been like clear fan favorite on this show for like a long time. So it's like she was in one of those positions where she really didn't have to work. We always wanted her to, but she really didn't have to. She said, she told Funky Dineva one time, she was like, "What other job?" She never sees herself like actually quitting the housewife. She's like, "What other job do you get paid like millions of dollars to go sit and have lunch with bitches all day?" And I'm like, fair, valid, because I do it for free right now and I hate it. So I'd love to get paid for it.
So yeah, she is not used to this. She's like, "Don't you guys know that I already figured out my storyline? And that is that Todd has a condo."
Right.
That's my storyline. Are we not? And I have bedroom candy. No. Oh,
right.
Damn it. Okay. That's not going to work.
Like, oh, you all want me to work? Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So it's Drop It with Drew. I'm very upset at Drew's new confessional look. This it looks like a figure skater outfit kind of, but like mixed with like a pageant. It's like one side of it's really...
We know Drew loves a figure skating outfit. Remember that second episode where her and Ralph went to dinner? Yep. Yeah, that was like straight out of Tanya Harding's closet. Like it was a lot. Drew, you know what? I feel like I give Drew so many passes because I'm like, you know what? The face and the hair are always good nowadays. I'm like, the clothes will get there. So just hang out with Portia a few more years. Like she'll help you behind the scenes. Like we'll get there. But that
I could not believe they were all showing their weight.
Right? I'll be damned. In my Aunt Bertha voice, I'll be damned.
Hell no.
Nuh-uh.
Hell no. But Kandi's funny. She's like, "All right, this is happening, but is it a real Drop It with Drew facility?" And then as the other girls show up, Marlo goes, "Drew went to the FedEx."
You know what this put me in the mind of? This entire like little scene here. Do you remember when on Potomac, I think it was Karen, Wendy and maybe Mia, or maybe Ashley, one of them, when they went to look at Karen's venue for her vow renewal, and it was basically basically that strip mall. They're like, where the hell are we right now? I'm like, oh my God, is this the same strip mall that Karen got her vows renewed in? Like, is this the same place? Kind of love it.
Totally. Yes,
History.
that same energy.
Yes.
Marlo comes in and ignores Kandi.
Yes.
Sheree's ass looks amazing in her She by Sheree. What are they? Prototypes.
Yes.
But now here's what I don't understand, Kendrick.
Okay.
Sanya pulls Ralph aside to talk about her issue with Ross and the whole nother baby thing. And I'm like, what? And then she gives Ralph attitude because Ralph's like, look, we got 3 kids and you've got one. We're just as busy, if not busier. And then Sanya goes, well, I mean, y'all act busy. I don't know. I was like, did you just pull him aside to give him to throw shade? I don't.
Right. First of all, I don't care. We know Ralph like works in finance or whatever. I don't care if I had a tax question, a P&L question, an EBITDA question. I'm not going to Ralph Pittman for advice about shit. Okay. Not a damn thing. Question. Anything related to finance? Nope, I'm good. I'll ask the other people.
I mean, why would we? I mean, she's seen Ralph be nothing but horrible,
right?
So she's like, let me pull Ralph aside. Maybe production asked her to do it. They were like, why don't you go see if Ralph has any tips? That may be, because it made no sense whatsoever, especially like at the Drop It with Drew event. I'm like, he's right there. Like,
and what? I love that she like pulled him over. She's like, man, I got to talk to you about your friend. He's like, who the hell is my friend? Like, what are you talking about? Had no idea what she was talking about. He's like, oh, your husband, that man I met that one time. Gotcha. Okay.
He's like, literally, I just met him when we started filming this show this season.
Like, we were not friends, but okay, let continue.
She did say your friend. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yep.
And he was like, what, your husband?
Right. Now that would have been good when she was like, if she would have said like, he was like, what friend? Ross. He's like, who the hell is Ross? Like, what are you talking about?
Who's Ross?
Who the hell? From
my
Friends?
husband? My
Chandler?
Ross Geller?
Right. Like, who are we talking about right now? Oh, your husband. Oh, okay. Gotcha. What about him? Okay.
That would have been so much better.
Right.
Who's Ross?
Yeah, we need that.
Damn. All right. So Marlo then starts talking to Kandi. And so Candy's like, oh, now you're talking to me. And this is a fun little bit of shade because she's like, I heard you were talking about me to everybody. And then Marlo gets like, so she totally wusses out. She's like, it wasn't just me. And she's like, Sheree's did it too. And Sheree's like, where's Kenya? Like,
right.
You guys are so scared.
Nowhere to be found. Either Kenya is like off somewhere with Brooklyn. She's like, child, I'm not like wasting my time going to work out with Drew. When, first of all, they were like shading the hell out of Drew from start to finish. They talked about the lipo. They talked about Drew can't even do the moves. They talk about this FedEx copy. Apparently, no one respected it because Kenya didn't even bother to show up on time and then came to eat the food. So
the quotes from this workout were savage.
Yes.
Well, first though, so they start doing this weird ass workout. Todd gets a call and oh my God, some guy came up to sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I almost choked. Oh my God.
Some guy comes up to the door and he's like, what does he say? I'm a friend of Beyonce. I'm
a family member of Beyonce. You know, Kandi told me to come over here personally, because I'm T.I.'s son.
I'm T.I.'s son.
What? Like, that's a lot of name dropping in one sentence. Like, can we slow down for a minute? Like, wait, what is happening? T.I. Like, first of all, T.I. and Tiny had like a show on VH1 for like 10 years. We know T.I.'s children. You are not one of them. Just saying. We know.
And how
children.
did Beyonce factor in here, sir?
Right. Where did she come from? Like, is she on? Are you on Matthew's side or are you on Tina's side? Where do you factor in?
And then Kandi is gonna do what?
Right.
So needless to say, but I love how everyone goes outside. So like they just leave. Yeah. Everyone leaves the whole thing. So they go back inside. Okay, they go back inside. This workout is ridiculous looking. Like it is like, this is like, it's like hop, jump, squat, like push up. I'm like, no way. But Marlo's
the
quote,
new cha-cha slide. Good God.
Marlo, I don't work out. I get lipo. Isn't that what Drew does? Like Sheree, the way Drew does these moves, I can tell why she looks like a busted can of biscuits.
Oh my God. Dear Lord.
A busted can of biscuits. That is so. that is an amazing read. Right. It's like it's
great imagery.
You as soon as you're like, oh, I get it, because like it would. You're like, that's really good,
right?
And like I would never use it, but like I want to use it, but like I would never use it,
right?
But I get why. Like that's savage. And then Kenya shows up shamelessly late in hot pink. And I don't know if they were told to wear black because everyone else is in black and she's in hot pink. And she's just like, hey, like right in the front of everyone who's working out. She's like, hey.
Right. Sa-da-sa, sa-da-sa.
Yeah. And then they finally figure out what this program is, and Kenny is trying to talk to Jackie, and Drew is like, let me answer for Jackie, and Kenny is like, shut up.
Right,
let this woman talk. So we figure it out. Jackie had a 21-day program, and Drew is just the face of it. Kenya was asking those good questions though.
Yes, they all like you can tell that they all wanted to, like, they've been wanting to know this from the beginning. Like them meeting Jackie was the worst thing that could have happened, because they're like, oh shit, like we got the end now. We know exactly what we need to find out, because they almost like tag team. Marlo asked a question, Sanya asked a question, then they went back to Kenya, and it was tag teaming like back to back to back.
Oh yeah,
kind of love it.
It was great. Like at one point, Kenya says, so you changed the name before Drew lost any weight? Or dropped even a pound or something? And Drew's like, she just believed in me.
Oh, okay. So like, where does the lipo factor in, Drew? Like we're all kind of curious about like how this entire thing works. Cause my thing is like, Jackie, the way Jackie looked, Jackie was like kind of like, Jackie was fit. Jackie was buff, like leading this class. Like, why would you? I mean, I get it. Like, Drew is the name. Like, she's an Atlanta housewife. So, like, I get it. But, like, you could probably build this brand on your own. Like, I
was going to say.
You're kind of Jackie.
Of all people.
You can do this. Yeah. Like, Drew Sidora is not synonymous with the city of Atlanta either. Which,
right?
Like, there's a lot of other people. Like, maybe, like, the singer Monica. Like, when I think of Atlanta, I think of her. Ludacris, the Usher, Lil Jon. There are a lot of people I think about when I think of Atlanta. Like maybe one of the Falcons. I don't know, but not necessarily Drew Sidora. I don't know. I don't know where she factors in to this.
I agree.
I just don't know.
I agree. And I get that it's a weight loss program. And so Drew's meant to show what weight loss is, but she's not really like that big of a success story from the program yet. So it's still not even the best advertising. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like we all had questions when like Oprah was doing Weight Watchers at first. Then we're like, oh, Oprah looks kind of good. So maybe it'll go maybe that route. I don't know. But, you know, when she started popping up on the commercials, we're like, oh, Oprah looks kind of good. Okay. All right, Oprah.
Okay. We'll try. But then Drew real quick is like, well, you know, but then like, Sheree, we've been waiting decades on decades, and we finally have seen a mat today. And so Kenya's like, yes. So she goes and she grabs that mat. And she like pulls that mat out. And then Monietta's like, wait, hold on. I'm supposed to do something because I think I'm trying to be a housewife too. And so she's like, hold on. Wasn't there drama with Kandi? It seemed like an ambush. And I was like, where the hell did that come from?
The setup was not there. It's like, wait.
What seems like an ambush?
Right. What are we alluding to? What's happening? It's like, feels like all the other girls are like in on it. They're like, oh, okay. I think we think we know where you're going with this. Okay, let alley-oop. You alley-oop it, I'll dunk it. Like, just give me the ball. I got it from here.
They're like, okay, it out. Sure. Okay.
Right.
All right. Because I don't think ambush was the word she was looking for because she wasn't, if she's referring to the lunch, ambush isn't the word because she wasn't there.
Right.
So is that what you were talking about? Or was it the ambush at the sauna? Was she talking about that? Was she talking about that? Okay, she was talking about that. Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what she was talking about. Okay. So then Kenya is like, yeah, Marlo, she told us about that. And she's not fucking with you anymore. And Marlo obviously is freaked out by that. Like Marlo was hoping she would get out of it like Kandi feeling bad because she wasn't a good friend. But now she's finding out that her plan isn't working.
Right.
So now she has to go into like defensive Marlo. So she's like, oh no, Kandi doesn't want to talk to me. What am I going to do? I'm like, that's a sign that Marlo's freaking out. And Kenya does an amazing job here. I mean, again, Kenya is not messing up one time.
Nope.
So she says it made her realize all the things you haven't been to her. And Marlo's like, fuck, she's not wrong. I don't really do anything for Kandi.
Right.
And then Marlo starts going. She goes exactly where Kenya knows Marlo will go. She goes dirty. She goes, tell us about Mark or your fake booty. Kind of new fucking diss.
Right.
Did you get your lips done? Who hasn't?
Right.
Learn to keep a man. Who are you with? You settled for one that belittles you. Okay, weren't you just consoling her a couple episodes ago in New York?
Right.
When you were dating, but then she starts to like lose it because Kenya is not biting.
Right.
Kenya is just standing in her place, just being like, really, like just effortlessly batting it away. But then Marlo starts getting so heated that she starts walking towards her. And Kenya with that, that hand.
I know.
Wasn't it powerful?
Get out of my face. You better bed.
Ooh, it was so good. And that producer wasted no time. He was like, Kenya's got to get away because Marlo might do something.
Yes.
Or Kenya.
I know. That would have been interesting to see. Yeah. It seems like Marlo's trying to change the physicality of it a little bit because we know her history. You know, we never know what Marlo gonna do. But I don't know. It also, oh God, there's so much to say about this scene because one, it's very, you know me, I love me some Kenya Moore. Don't get it twisted. Kenya Moore, top tier housewife to me. But it's not lost on me that Kenya Moore is now talking about personal space when that has been her biggest issue on this show for years. So it's almost like, ooh,
great
Kenya.
Point.
Yes,
like when she pulled the chair out from Kim under Kim. Ooh, that made my hair stand up just thinking about it.
I know. Ooh. Scepter in Portia's face. It's like,
and even just the blowhorn or whatever that thing is called, or what is that, speakerphone? Because just the noise like that, that's physical violations too, you know?
Poor Cynthia.
She's always in the middle of it too.
Justice for Cynthia's tatas that were exposed that day.
She literally ripped that top right off.
Yes. I want to say though, I love that I love when we get like little behind the scenes stuff because it makes stuff in front of the camera makes so much more sense. And I remember Carlos King, who was a producer on this show, like the producer of reality TV. He oh my god, piece of hair like flew in my mouth. Oh my god,
dog hair.
My dog is in here, so maybe. I remember recently they talked about Kandi and Marlo because Marlo was on Carlos King's podcast, and he talked about that scene that they actually flashed back to in this episode. She talked about whose own mother doesn't even love them like that. That scene. He talked about how Kenya never when Marlo was a friend, never wanted to give Marlo a moment. So that's why she really didn't react in that scene. She would ignore her, and Carlos King would literally have to go up to her and be like, "No, bitch, give her a moment. This is a reality TV. We're shooting a show. If she wants a moment, give her the moment."
Oh, really?
What are we doing? Yeah. And so when you see scenes like this, and Kenya literally will not match Marlo's nastiness, she'll just bat it away with the classiness. Ooh. I feel like it's because she in her mind is see, this is why no one wanted you to be a housewife in the first place. This is why we kept you at arm's length and you do what you do. And she's still it almost feel, if I'm Marlo, I would feel dehumanized a little bit because it's almost nope, I don't see you as a housewife. You're just that girl over there. Get out of my face. I'm not doing this with you. If you were a real housewife like Kandi, maybe I'd raise my voice, but you're not. So it felt like that. So when you get that behind the scenes perspective, a lot of the stuff the dynamics on screen start making a lot of sense.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very much Marlo's vibe to me, period. That she doesn't feel like they receive her as good enough. And so a lot of her reactions have that feeling, which is kind of her through line for her whole life, clearly, you know? So it makes sense that yet again, she's in a space where she doesn't feel like she's worthy or good enough or treated as such. And she has to fight for it. But then unfortunately, when she fights for it, it just kind of proves their point. And so, it's this cycle that constantly happens because she says nasty, mean things.
Yep.
The way she fights is nasty and is mean. And I mean, these are horrible things to say. Tell us about Mark. What? She's divorced, Mark. All these reads are bad. And they're they're weak, and she is going for low blows, and she's trying to do some stupid reality TV tricks that don't really work. And so, but anyways, they're pulling them away. In her confessional, Marlo says, "Every time I turn around, Kenya is coming for me." I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You're literally coming for her.
Right. I don't know where Marlo's getting her information, but I mean, we love delusion. So, hey.
I mean, but literally delusion.
Right.
What are you actually talking about?
Who knows?
I love Marlo trying to say that she's I will never say anything about children or mothers. And they immediately do. First, they do a montage of things from the past, but then they do one of something literally that episode, 5 seconds ago.
Literally 10 minutes ago.
Love so it. Marlo. And I feel like production might have also, part of them are okay, look, here's your peach. We gave Marlo the peach, but please don't be unaware of the fact that Marlo is also very problematic.
Yes.
Yes, we love all of our problematic peeps, but she's very problematic, guys.
Yes.
We're not going to pretend like she's not.
Marlo's always going to hit below the belt if she gets the chance.
Dark below the belt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we end it. I forgot that Drew and Sanya got in that huge fight.
Yeah.
And now
so
they're
much
just
going on in
up.
every episode. Right.
They're just Drew's I just want it to be a gang up. And they're okay.
Right.
And then she's so tell me about what's going on with Ross. And then they talk about that. And then Drew's you need to give him a baby. I was that
very
makes
weird
sense.
advice. Right.
Coming from Drew.
Yeah, very, very on brand. Yeah.
She's like, keep him happy because then he'll stray. I'm like, girl.
Ugh. It didn't help with Ralph's ass. So
girl, I mean, have you learned nothing?
Right.
And the answer is you haven't.
Right.
But next week we get drunk Kenya, which we've never had.
Yes.
Ever. We've never had drunk sloppy Kenya. Are you kidding me?
I'm looking forward to that.
Give it to me. Oh my God.
I want that.
I cannot wait. And Marlo kicks the boys out.
Ooh.
We need to see that.
Yeah. I need to know where they went. Like, where did y'all go?
Immediately. And I know this was a while ago, so I'm sure there's updates now, but
right.
We need details.
Right. She posts pictures of them every day, so I'm sure they're back and healthy. And
that's
fine,
right. She does, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I'm assuming they're okay.
Okay, well, fine. All right, fine. Right. Never mind. I'm not so worried. Never mind.
I know. Hoping. Here's the hoping.
Okay, fine. Well, all right. That wraps us up. Again, Kendrick, thank you as always. I will forever be indebted to you, my lovely friend. Seriously. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yes, you can find me anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Google, all of the things. Reality and Comics 2. Follow me on Instagram at Reality Comics 2, TOO. And if you feel so inclined, we both love 5-star rating and reviews. So give us a 5-star rating and review after you listen to this episode. We would love that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Yeesh.
Bye, guys.
Bye.